like a match made in heaven and taste even better.
Pizza. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
The brand new Burger King in Weewa Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
Start your summer adventures in the new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Kia Soul. Cruise in confidence in the outgoing and adventurous 2022 Kia Soul that has the perfect balance of comfort, style, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Soul with $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/22.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
And hit me, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida on a hot Monday morning. How was Father's Day for you? Did you have a good day?
Oh, yeah, it was good. I mean, yeah, I didn't get away with much, but I still had to do the regular stuff. But it was nice to hear from everybody that, even that this is going to sound weird, but my son's mother, her husband called me up and wished me a happy Father's Day.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I get along with the guy,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. I have a little empathy for him in my heart. But it was really weird to, I was like, dude, well, long time, how's the boat? How's the wife?
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. You don't hear about that every day, do you?
No,
Well, it shows how special you are. I think it's you. Most people that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, and
you're kind.
Every once in a while, he would call whenever he'd have problems with her. It's like, what do I know? I know nothing. But I would just let him bend my ear for a while, and then I'd say, well, go drink a beer and hide in the garage.
There you go.
Week later, he called me up and said, hey, it worked.
When Chad gets here, I'm going to ask him about his Father's Day weekend. Now, was it for you the whole weekend or just Sunday?
Well, it was the whole weekend. I got my Father's Day breakfast on Saturday.
Dang.
And then I, got all the phone calls and all the stuff. But we had a lot of things kind of buttoned
up. Does the wife do most of the good things for you, or your children? Like, I look on us.
Well, my kids are all far. I only have one son.
Yeah.
And he lives in Kentucky. But see, he was down last week.
Right, I remember that.
For 8 days. So that
seems like the wives do more of the things for the husbands than anything.
Yeah, she actually bought me a Father's Day present.
Yeah. Julie does that. I'm like, why do you do this?
Yeah,
you're not my.
Yeah,
I'm not your dad. And she's
are they trying to tell us something?
I don't know, but she does it every year. She's good about parties and birthdays and all that kind of stuff. I'm not. But she's really good about that stuff. But we had a good. I'll talk more about what we did in a while. But I got to go to Friday night. Bay Point Golf, one of our sponsors. They do such an incredible job.
Yeah, I
there.
heard you were going to go there.
We went. I now listen. Either he told me it was sports trivia or Julie did. I think it was Julie. It wasn't sports trivia. He had a couple questions.
He sat right there and said they were sports trivia questions, and he wasn't going to make them hard, and they weren't going to be all about one subject or another.
There were a few of them. There were a few. Then there were other ones like how many Earths can sit inside the moon. Of course, I had it right. Nobody else could get that. I did.
How many what?
How many Earths, the size of the Earth, can fit into the size of the sun?
How many?
The sun.
Oh,
the
okay.
Sun.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot the answer now, but
that's kind of a toughie. I mean, I'm an amateur astronomer. You know, I've got a couple of nice telescopes. I know that the Earth spins 1,000 miles per hour, and it goes around the sun at 100,000 miles per hour. Blah blah blah. And I kind of track the planets and their elliptical orbit. You know, around the Earth, but I don't know that one.
There were a lot of them I didn't know.
That's a stumper.
But they had the different teams, and the one right in front of us was getting everything right. I mean, I was like, this guy was incredible. Before, finally, Ryan's boy just stood right by him. I mean, every other thing. He had an FSU shirt on, so FSU academics are pretty good.
Yeah.
So we struggled. Chris Pettis, her son Ryan, was a really good baseball player. Chima Florida State's playing at Troy now, and his girlfriend and her family, they live in Bay Point. And Joey Pettis didn't show up. You know, Joey let us down. If we'd have been there, I think we'd have won because Chris didn't bring much to the table.
Teams?
Oh, yeah, you had teams.
Oh,
teams,
okay.
me and Julie.
Okay.
And anyway, of course, I'm watching Notre Dame play. I think it was Notre Dame in Texas. I think that was the game. I think that was the game that was being played at that time. But we had a good time, really good time. And the food was outstanding. Good time.
Is this the first time they did that at Bay Point?
No, they've done it before. Jared and Mariah went and did it one time, but they're going to have bingo. They're going to bring bingo back, which is big. There'll be a lot of people there for that.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll give out prizes. Bingo. They had $100 and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. But, Brian kind of got me a little bit. I just wasn't prepared. I had all these questions ready for about Alabama.
You had all the sports stuff in your head. You're going in there with a sports frame of mind. You know, refresh your memory, and they go in there and ask you how many planet Earths will fit in the sizes.
All kind of questions, you know. Now, Dr. Chad Mitchell would probably know all of them, but not me.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends on what morning.
Hey, did you set response? Or you said response?
Yes, I did. I said response. Yes.
Typical. Hey, how was Father's Day?
Well, it was sort of busy.
Did you have a good day?
Well, sort of. I traveled.
Oh, okay.
I went to Arkansas to help my aunt and uncle. I have two sets of aunt and uncles up in Arkansas, and one set I needed to check on.
Yeah. Did you go by yourself?
Yeah, I went by myself. I flew up, and then I flew back yesterday. So, I mean, Father's Day was,
wow.
Just traveling back mainly. It was a good time.
Well, I had a text there saying, Happy Father's Day from Central Florida. Appreciate all your love and support in 2017. So,
well, at least, I watched the Arkansas baseball game while I was in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Hey, was it really hot out there also?
Yes, it was. It cooled off yesterday morning, I think.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
How was the flight there? Any nightmares?
No, the flight was okay. But I will tell you, the parking lot at the Beaches International Airport over here,
they got them parking in the grass.
Full.
Was it really?
I had to park on the very back row. No lie.
Did they not know it was you? That makes me mad now.
And listen, that was Friday morning. Friday morning, I parked on the very back row.
Wow.
Were they parking in the grass? Were they called the overflow lot?
But they probably did after that. Probably over the weekend they did.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be building a new parking lot there within the next 5 years. They're going to have
what
a whole
does
new
that tell
parking
you?
lot.
What does that tell you about the community and what's going on? I mean,
Crazy.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah. Well, you hear it's amazing. You didn't say anything negative about the flight because what you're hearing throughout the country is that late, getting on, pilots not there, all kinds. You name it, it's happened. Fights at airports. They kind of keep it quiet. But I heard there was a bad one in Atlanta. Facebook, you can see things. How they try to keep the negative things out.
Hey,
Yeah.
mine was uneventful. I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, now, did you take what jet did you take? Your red one or your white one?
So we're advertising.
No, that's not. I get in trouble for that. Well, hey, Arkansas people got to be happy, man. That baseball team's got a chance to do something special.
Absolutely, they look really good, and that was the one game I got to watch the most of. I did watch the
They're
Auburn
good.
game as well. Arkansas is very good.
Yeah, and while we're talking about this real quick, Friday, Oklahoma might win it all too. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Ole Miss, they all look strong.
They look very strong.
Yeah. Now Oklahoma, they beat Texas A&M 13-8. Notre Dame. This is when I was at Bay Point watching, trying to listen to the question. That's the reason I didn't do as well. I was focused more on baseball. And I just yelled University of Alabama.
I knew there was a catch.
Every other question, University of Alabama, and it wouldn't even be a sports question. Everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. But anyway, Notre Dame beats Texas 7-3. They look well, played well, good techniques. I mean, they look pretty good. Then Saturday, Arkansas beats Stanford 17-2. 17-2.
It wasn't even close.
God.
I mean, they jumped on
Yeah.
them. They did. They jumped
And it was
on
hot
them.
out there, man. Did you see the crowds? The crowds are incredible.
Yeah.
I'd love to go out there and see that. And then Ole Miss beat Auburn. And then what did we have? And then since then we've had Oklahoma beat Notre Dame 6-2. Texas got beat by Texas A&M beat Texas, I think 10-2. And you know what? The NCAA wouldn't let that guy come out there and sing because he hook 'em horns upside down when he sang at the World Series for the female the softball. Well, heck, Texas A&M players were doing that. Did you see that? I mean, I just don't get it.
Listen, I don't know. It's a rivalry, and
Well, so you
Come
don't
on,
think the SEC people are going to do that to Texas? They get here.
No. I know. So listen to this. How many times have I been around Auburn fans and they're yelling war?
Yeah.
Middle word.
Yeah.
Eagle.
Right.
And they're yelling it at me, and like, okay, this is. I know this is part of the whole tradition. I'm not offended. That's what they do.
It's part of getting in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're trying to get in my head, and they're not being ugly, I don't think. They're just being.
I can't. But it just blows my mind.
They're ready for their team to win.
The guy did a great job singing the national anthems. He's all excited about going to the World Series, and they let him know you're not going to do it unsportsmanlike, attitude or whatever. We're not going to let you do it. And then you got Texas A&M players doing it to Texas during the game. I loved it. I thought it was awesome, man. And I'm like, all the other things that happen in the NCAA they go after that.
So I think we got a problem in our country.
No, are you kidding me?
Ding, 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 ding.
Have you ever listened to me?
But I know. But the problem is that people get offended by things that they should just not get offended by. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm an Alabama fan, and there's just some things. I mean, I get irritated. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to fight about it because, like, it's not. It's not life and death. It's not that big a deal. And actually, if you'll get into it and embrace it a little bit, it can be fun.
With it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. To have a little rivalry going. And, how many Auburn friends do I have? And we're constantly at each other. And, there were 6 years in a row there where Tommy Tuberville, we took it on the chin. And the Auburn fans just wore me out.
and we didn't go call the NCAA.
No,
well, I just don't think the Texas fans.
They won. Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
they won the football game. Exactly. Yeah. Congratulations.
I bet the average Texas A&M. I bet the average Texas fan probably could care less.
Exactly.
Yeah. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you get? So what?
Yeah. Be a good sport, and I get they're trying to encourage sportsmanship. They don't want you doing. Down in the other team. I get that too. I mean, I think we should actually teach our players to do that. Leave that up to the fans. They're bad enough.
But they're athletes. They should be a little thick-skinned.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's always smack.
Exactly.
Going back and forth. Always will be.
And that's the thing. You need to have some thick skin. I grew up, you had to have thick skin.
Yeah, we grew up in
Otherwise,
we had it made.
We had it
made. Didn't even know it.
You'd be mentally miserable if you just were offended all the time.
Unbelievable. Well, I was hoping you had some good Father Day stories. Did you think about your dad?
I did think about my dad.
I did too.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, miss him.
Yeah.
You just lost yours.
Yeah, in December. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
How old was he again?
He was 80.
80. Yeah. My dad made it I think 76.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Well, as a matter of fact, we'll talk more about that stuff. But baseball game today. We'll talk about baseball coming up today.
Atlanta Braves.
2 big games. Oh yeah. You want to talk about some of that stuff?
Oh, I just want to let them know it's 6 o'clock versus the Giants, Atlanta Braves.
I'm not gonna
I guess
support
it's
that.
at home too, so don't drive through Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do, drive slow.
You won't have any choice but to drive slow.
Well, I tell you what, we didn't. This is probably the first time in a long time we did not go to J. Michael's on a Sunday. We did something different because it was Father's Day. But yeah, I was there Saturday. We had lunch there. We had an early dinner there. Got there about 5 o'clock at J. Michael's restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood, the coldest beer. I tell you what, it's incredible. And all this hot weather, man, I don't even worry about it. You know why? Because I have Stevenson Air Conditioning. If I have any kind of problems, I call Jason. They're out there quickly, and they solve all the issues. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Make sure if you got an old one, get it serviced now. Don't put it off. Get it serviced. It's going to save you some money. If you got a real old one, get rid of it and buy a brand new one. It's the only thing you can actually pay. It pays for itself. And that's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Buffalo Rock, appreciate those great people down there. Support Buffalo Rock. They support us in this county. If you lived here, you know that. Buffalo Rock, #1. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
He struck him out. Max Fried leaves the bases loaded.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by PCB Coins and Cards, Guthrie's, Fit Culture, Panama City Toyota, Brock's Pest Control, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Good Monday morning. A chance of showers of thunderstorms today and tonight. A weather front stalled out very close to us. It'll be partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear tonight. Around 93 for the high, 75 for the low, east wind at 10, and the water temperature in the Gulf is 85 degrees at this time. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
We don't know what his problem is,
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
but it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Chad Mitchell every Monday. Great to have him in here. Except for the 4th of July Monday, we will not be here. Matter of fact, we'll be off the whole week. I think everybody's going downtown, all the sponsors, everybody. They do it every 4th of July. Everybody's going to do something.
Let's make it a great 4th of July.
We need
this country's worth it. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy our independence.
I will. I love blowing stuff up. I hope it gets some rain, or there won't be any fireworks. Locally, there may be some out in the bay.
Is there a fire ban?
Do you realize how hot it was Saturday? We get up, we go to St. Andrews, where we're going to go downtown, and all of a sudden, of course, we're getting Julie's car, and anyway, I see, this thing's not driving right. Something ain't right. Then I see all these lights on. I said, God, dog it. So we go into the sporting store. I won't name it. It's downtown. Good people. I can't mention their name, but really good people, and they helped me out a lot. Bought some ammo. Get back out. Get the parking lot. Look, the tire's completely flat. I'm going, my God, it's miserable hot. This all of a sudden, I mean, it's how lucky I am. Or Julie, maybe it's for Julie. This guy has an air compressor in the back of his truck. That's what he does. And he said, you know what's weird? I was going to go eat breakfast, and Sutton told me to come down here. And he looked over and saw it. He goes, can I help you? And I said, yeah, that'd be great. Try to give him some money, wouldn't do it.
Yeah, good people.
So I go down to Toyota. They're wonderful people there. They did such a wonderful job. Got it done quickly. I was really impressed with them. I had warranty on a tire, and the tire was ruined.
Yeah.
But kind of. And anyway, I really appreciate everybody down in Toyota. They actually take you. They let us off at Cracker Barrel. We didn't eat there, but dropped us off there. We walked around the shopping center, stuff like that. And they get the car fixed. They come back and pick you back up, take you back, and it's ready to go. So I really appreciate everything Toyota does.
Did they tell you that if you'd quit driving up on the curb, you might?
That's Julie. I try to tell Julie that. Yeah.
Never drive on a tire that's already flat.
The key is to drive on the bottom, bottom of the tire, not the side of the tire. Yeah, that's. I think she gets confused with that.
Oh, she gets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it wasn't me. You look at my vehicles. I mean, I can make them. They're clean. They're nice. I don't put anything in the back. Hers was like oh my God. I thought it was Phil Cobb's car for a minute. But anyway, we go to Sam's later that day, and I'm telling you, when you got out and walked, and there's a lot of people there, I could not believe how hot it was right there on that cement and all this. It was crazy.
Is it just me, or I know people say that things seem to be getting hotter, but I mean, as a kid, I remember it being in the 90s, sometimes in June. It's always been hot.
Yeah. We've had hot summers. We've had some that are not so hot. Yes. Right. Yeah. I can remember when growing up, I was like, my goodness, it was miserable. I think as you get older,
you're just not able to tolerate
you can't handle
especially
it like
staying in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Stevenson's got us.
Stevenson spoiled us. They spoiled us.
Yeah.
My grandkids, they're out there. They can go all day. And it doesn't even affect them. They just keep on going. Of course, they're young. All right, Chad. Well, let's get into baseball. 1 o'clock, you said Auburn's got Stanford at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you got Arkansas, Ole Miss. That's a big one. Well, we want Auburn to win for sure. And then you got Arkansas, Ole Miss. I think either one of those can win the whole thing. I think it's 6 o'clock our time.
Yeah, I think so. It says 7 p.m., so I'm assuming that's Eastern.
Okay.
So the 2 o'clock game on ESPN is Stanford-Auburn. The 7 p.m. game is Arkansas-Ole Miss. That Arkansas-Ole Miss game is going to be great.
A good one.
Obviously, we want Auburn to stay in it. Looks like Ole Miss silenced their bats. I guess that was Saturday.
They'll have them going.
Hopefully
they'll work
so.
them today.
I mean, I was hoping to see Auburn's bats, get in the game, but anyway, it's a great series. So here's the part of the World Series we're in now. They're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you got the finals that come up after that. With the two teams that are able
Best
to
out
win through. Yeah. So pitching and the pitching rotation becomes very, very important.
And you talking about hot?
Right.
It's really hot out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, but these athletes, they're
Let me ask you this:
top athletes.
You got to play boom, boom, boom like that. So conditioning, the team has the better shape.
Yep.
But that's got to be a wear and tear on the body, especially the pitchers. Well, all of them. What do? You're the team doctor. You're there. What are you telling these guys to do?
Hydrate.
To get rid of this?
You want to, not getting too graphic here, but we would tell everybody you want to be peeing clear all day.
Yeah.
You want to have enough water. You want to be just drinking water all day long. That you're hydrated. All the cells, your muscle cells, everything. They've got plenty of water. That kind of thing. You don't want to get dehydrated out there, and that's what their trainers are telling these players. They're telling you got to stay hydrated.
What kind of treatment do they give the kids between these games? Are they getting them ice tubs, or talk about some of that stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Do they do salt?
Nah,
that sometimes is done mainly in football. I've not seen
I think
that
they've
in
gotten
baseball.
away from that, though.
Yeah, they have gotten
We've gotten away from that.
Yeah, because you.
It's probably
you
the
know,
worst thing you could do.
I don't understand. I never understood that
Well, your
process
electrolyte
anyway.
drinks, they're very, very helpful. So
remember back in the 70s, they gave us some salt tablets. The worst thing you could give someone, and they're giving us.
And but I mean, your electrolyte drinks are fine now. I mean, they help, and water is actually, there've been some studies that show you can just give somebody water for the most part.
Yeah.
But the key is hydration. The key also is, I mean, they need to be in shape before now, right? I mean, as a coach, you know what has to happen to a team to get them ready for a time like this. So if they're not in shape at this point, they're going to struggle with it. The ones that are in shape, you're going to see them thrive.
That heat out there is incredible. Only the strong survive. I mean, you're playing so many games. Only the strongest ones are going to survive.
Kids, that heat's not bothering them that much. I mean,
And
it's hot.
what do you do with the pitchers? What as a doctors? What do you have them do?
So they better be watching the pitch counts. One thing. I mean, you got to protect these elbows and these shoulders, and they're doing that. The college level coaches, boy, they're watching that. Because they want their pitcher ready to go when they need them, and so. You've got your starting pitcher rotation, and you're trying to figure out, it gets harder as it goes along, right? So you're trying to save maybe your best pitcher to some extent, but you've also got to, take care of your bullpen. So, you're going to be using every player in that bullpen for the most part, unless you just got someone who's injured or someone who's not as good as you'd like them to be.
What would you have pitchers doing? Icing down their arms. What do they do to keep them?
I'd have them ice them down after throwing. Absolutely, that's one of the things I would do. Some people consider that a little old school, but no, it just helps decrease inflammation, helps them get ready. And
what between games and stuff? If you're worried about your pitchers, do anything they would be doing with those pitchers, the trainers?
They just need to be, resting their arm. You can have them do a few sprints here and there. With their legs, just to make sure they're maintaining their conditioning. But you want to rest their arm for the most part, because they need to come back here in a couple of days. And then when you're playing every day like this, I mean, this is like a professional, schedule. You've got games every day. You've got to have a pitcher ready the next day, and so they're on a rotation.
I'm just curious to see how the crowds will be like today on a Monday. How many people stayed? A lot of people have to go to work. I guess in this coming up weekend it'll be packed out again.
Today's national holiday, so there won't be anybody going to work, so the stadiums ought to be fairly full.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people take off to go to that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a week event.
Yeah, the local people that go to it, I guess.
All the Omahogs were
tell you what,
real happy. They're hoping their team gets there.
I wonder how they work it there. I guess they do it like Birmingham. You buy a ticket, run them out, buy another ticket. I'm sure that's how they do it.
I don't know. I've not been. I'd like to go one year. Just show up. Doesn't matter what the teams are. It's always great baseball.
Yeah.
Last night, my youngest granddaughter Lorelai spent the night, so I was getting ready to watch baseball, and she wanted to watch Winnie the Pooh. So guess what we watched last night?
That's one battle you just
Winnie
don't
the
win.
Pooh. Yeah, Lorelai. I tell you what, she can put a puzzle. I'm talking about these huge puzzles. She can put them together, and she just turned 4. Or she's 4.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah. She can. She's brilliant. I'm telling you, she's a good little athlete too now. And anyway, Lorelai, we love you. I hope she's listening right now. I want to talk about her. But Chad, getting back to baseball, if the SEC, really with Oklahoma coming in. Let's get Stanford out of it, Notre Dame, and then we're in pretty good shape. Well, Notre Dame out now? No, they're still in. They're still in.
Yeah,
okay.
You got the Texas A&M Notre Dame game on Tuesday.
Yeah. Now A&M, they're the rival. They hate each other. Texas A&M.
Right.
They got to play them. It's the 4th straight time Texas A&M has put them out. They've beaten them 4 straight times in baseball.
And Texas has been a powerhouse in baseball. Well, A&M as well, but But yeah,
it just makes me think A&M being the SEC last how many years it's been now. I don't know how many years it's been. That's got to really have helped them. I mean, you look at their facilities, the money, all the national press they've got when they came in the SEC. Texas saw that. They in that weaker conference, and now that's one of the reasons I think they wanted to join their brother in the SEC, because I think they might have even passed They have passed Texas in sports. And baseball, they just got through beating them. Football, they're bigger. Texas was terrible last year, so I think coming to the SEC is going to help Texas a lot, because it's already helped Texas A&M so much. But I thought it was kind of cool that they had beaten them 4 straight times. And we are talking Texas A&M baseball, not Jimbo Fisher or football. So I do have some stuff on Jimbo Fisher in a minute. All right, it's time to take a break. Lorelei Hale sitting on a rail. I was going to tell some rhymes about Lorelei. But anyway, Dr. Chad Mitchell. Chad, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344. They can also go to www.chadmitchellmd.com.
And don't forget about, if you got any kind of real estate deals you get ready to close on, demand Chuck Tucker. The guy does an incredible job. All the big-time realtors, they want to use Chuck because nobody wants any surprise. They want it done smoothly, quickly, in the right way. And that's what you get every single time with Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing. Number 1, not even close. American Charlie. Went there, had lunch Friday with Tommy Santamont. Brian came over there, too. We had a really good time. Food was incredible. We all 3 got the catfish. That's a special on Friday. Unbelievable. You guys got to go try it. I know we got a lot of people on the beach go to these different restaurants for lunch. Go try American Charlie's. I think you'll love it. Also, the newest restaurant and best Mexican restaurant, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base on Thomas Drive. Go try it. You'll love it. Happy hour 4 to 7. Every other Thursday night they're having Beckson bands. Really good. Lorelei loves that place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Braves fans. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win weekly prizes from Slim Chicken, Rudy's Barbecue, That Boot Store, Guthrie's, and Rib Crib with Atlanta Braves Trivia. Step 1, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Braves Trivia. Step 2, answer trivia about a recent game. Step 3, score some tasty prizes and come home a hero. The Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live on 104.3 in the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Bay Handyman Services is your complete home services company. Their slogan is listen better, plan better, build better. Bay Handyman Services holds a 5-star rating, and they're a local company serving Bay and surrounding counties. They offer a wide variety of services, from simply hanging a picture to full house remodels. Bay Handyman Services provides 24/7 emergency services. Call them at 850-753-5014 or visit their website, bayhandymanservices.com.
For love of food, love of country, American Charlie Grill and Tavern is a new all-American eatery at the shops at Edgewater. From the local team that brought you Firefly, On the Fly, and more. Classic dishes that have become staples of our country for over a century. American Charlie Grill and Tavern is open Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m. Daily happy hour from 2 till 6. $2 off all liquor, beer, and wine. Lots of TVs make it a great spot to watch all sports. Hope to see you soon at American Charlie Grill and Tavern.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're talking baseball in between the break.
Baseball.
And some names of, people I just kind of love. Johnny Bench.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Rose. Cincinnati was unbelievable. And you were a Braves the guy? Oh, no, the Yankees.
Yeah,
Yankees. But your
yeah.
dad took you guys. Tell about that story.
Well, my dad, he just he loved coaching, and he loved. I mean, he really taught me to like pretty much all teams. Yes, have your favorites and have the ones you passionately root for, but be able to sit down and enjoy two other teams that are good and watch good baseball. And so, yeah, he liked the Yankees just because of the tradition and that kind of thing. I think his father was a Cleveland Indians fan.
Yeah.
And so they would kind of have a little rivalry, a little bit. But when I was growing up, I think I was around 9 or so, Pete Rose was in his hitting streak.
Right.
And my dad knew a Cincinnati Reds scout who got us some tickets to go up to see the Reds play the Braves in Atlanta. And so we watched the first game, and Johnny Bench hits a home run, his first at bat in that game, and I think the Reds won. I can't remember the specifics; it's been so long. But what I do remember is Pete Rose continued his streak, and the scout asked my dad, and actually the scout got us into the same hotel with the Reds. So we're there with all of them. We saw Pete Rose. I mean, I was within probably 50 feet of Pete Rose. Dave Concepcion walks by the table. Big name players. And, you could tell these guys, they were really nice. They fans were all around them.
Yeah.
And they were very cordial. Sparky Anderson was signing autographs for kids. I'm just telling you, as a kid, you remember these things, and you just remember how nice the players were. And we got some balls autographed by the Cincinnati Reds, but it was missing Pete Rose's signature because they were keeping him separate from the team during that time. But anyway, so that.
Go back. Why do y'all think they did that?
I don't know.
Probably because they knew something about his gambling habits that were going to hit the newspapers eventually.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll slowly kind of weed him out there, and hang him out to dry.
Here's how I feel about that too, about that gambling thing. Don't get me wrong; it's you got to enforce that. You can't have people fixing games or whether he did or not is another thing, but. He was called Charlie Hustle for a reason. He hustled. He was a good player. He worked hard at it.
Yeah.
And you can't take that away from him. You really can't. He had the game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of gambling, but, so, I look at it, his playing skills, his athleticism, that kind of thing, his work ethic, impressed.
Yeah.
I wish he wouldn't have been doing the other.
I love watching him play. He'd run over you. He didn't run around you. He won't run over you.
And that's what we called sliding in head first.
Yeah.
Doing a Pete Rose.
Yeah.
That's who made it very popular, and he'd do it on first base.
Well, he was. Did you say that their stadium was pretty small back then?
It was I think it was called Fenley Park. Yeah, as a kid, we would ride our bicycles down on the interstate which get us in trouble, but we did it anyway. And you could sit on, I think it's, now I can't remember if it's I-75 or I-71. I think it's I-71. And you could sit there on the guardrail and you could see maybe home plate and half of the baseball field. And they'd hit them out of that park. And, every once in a while you'd get a home run baseball.
Oh, wow.
And every once in a while, I guess a broken windshield from time to time, too. Seems like I remember a story. Well, another broken windshield today, on the news or something like that. But it was a small park, and it was down in a really kind of a slummy area because it's next to where the railroad yard is down there, because there's just nothing down there but businesses and stuff. And then, of course, they moved it to Riverfront.
Were tickets expensive then?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I never, like I said, we rode our bicycles and watched the game from the interstate.
Yeah. Where'd they move the stadium now? I guess it's a nice area.
It's let's see, what's her name? Margaret
Thatcher.
No. She owns the Reds club now. I guess she still does. But she wanted to move it, it's Riverfront Stadium, and God, that place was falling apart. I did football games and baseball games there, working for CBS and Fox.
Yeah.
And they'd have markings where the floods of 1977, the floods of 1999, and
Good
so on and so
Lord.
forth. And when people would stomp their feet, chunks of concrete would come down out of where they parked the trucks for the networks and stuff like that, where we had to park. There would be fresh chunks of
Sounds
concrete.
like a safe stadium to
coming
be in.
out there. Yeah, it's crazy. And then of course, she built that.
It's called the Great American Ballpark.
The Great American Ball, and
That's
she
what it's
said she
called.
wanted it close enough and facing the river so that someday some mega player could hit a ball and it go into the Ohio River out of the stadium. That's her dream. What's her name? Maggie Margaret.
Let's see if I can see it on here.
She used to own a bunch of car dealerships, and somehow or other,
Yeah.
back in the 70s, she bought the Reds,
Yeah.
and been hanging on to it ever since.
It sounds like when they build them down, where you get all the restaurants and all that stuff, make a.
Well, now they've got, and I haven't been to Cincinnati in 15, 20 years, but they've got an area where they've got a like a Rosa Parks museum, and because that used to be the where slaves would come across the from Kentucky into Ohio.
Right.
So they got a museum there and restaurants and gift shops and all that stuff between the Bengals' new stadium, the Paul Brown Stadium, and then the new Cincinnati Reds Stadium, and then a Coliseum for concerts and stuff like that.
So
and
it's
then
all down
and
there
then
together.
and then they have the river. It's right on the river, so you've got all those things. And they have fireworks down there twice a year. It's really pretty cool, and I haven't been there for a long time.
Were you thinking of Marge Schott?
Marge
Yeah, so
Schott.
now Bob Castellini owns them. But,
Yeah,
Marge Schott owned them 1984 to 1999.
She probably died of cancer because she smoked. She had a cigarette between every finger. And she talked like this all the time, and that's because she smoked one cigarette after another.
She had some
was
big bucks,
crazy.
though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did. I liked Cincinnati Reds when you had those guys playing there. I like watching them play.
Well, I got to see, Gene Garber throw the ball, as you will. It wasn't a strike in a 3-2 count to Pete Rose, and swing and a miss. His streak's over. That was the last at bat for that. I think it was the end of the game. But anyway, all of the stadium, including the Braves fans, booed Gene Garber. It was, as a kid, it was impressionable. It's like, okay, sportsmanship just took over. Even the Braves fans wanted him to throw to Pete Rose and give Pete Rose a chance to get a hit.
Yeah.
It was, it's amazing to see fans do that,
I was never thinking, too, on baseball, that how much money is being made out of Omaha right now. The restaurants, you name it, people are making big money off that. And the reason we all know that, but Hattiesburg, we talked about this the other day when they had that super region, they got to host Ole Miss, and they had the week before was LSU, and I forgot Army, I think was the other team. But anyway, they brought in over $20 million to the city of Hattiesburg.
Wow.
That shows you how big this stuff is.
Wow.
Well, heck, if you're lucky enough to get LSU to come to your place, let's think of your liquor you're going to sell. My God, you're gonna become wealthy just off sales
not
on
a
liquor.
dry town?
No, they used to shut it down at midnight, though. No, seriously, at midnight back in the 70s, we were
I was
there.
about to say, when you were there, they should have shut it down.
12 o'clock.
That's why they shut it down.
Our favorite place, 12 o'clock, the lights would come on, and everybody, last call. Anyway.
Hotel, motel time.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Anyway, Chad, what do you think, man? Bike riding, is it pretty deadly? Does it, riding a bike and falling off bikes, could that be deadly?
I guess if you get hit by a car, it can.
No, there
Or
was
you
a
hit
guy.
A pole or...
That's why I don't ride my motorcycle much anymore.
There was a weather guy. I think he did the weather down in Fort Myers. It's a big county. You got 3 surrounding counties. You can watch that channel. I think it was a CBS channel. His day off, he's out riding a bike. Falls over, hits his head, and gone. Just that simple, that quick, gone.
Yep. We have no promise of tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting at. We had somebody else riding their bike this weekend and fell over, but dang it, he made it. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you who it was.
I know who it is. Oh my goodness!
There was a picture. Did you see the picture?
I did not.
There was a picture of Trump in his face on his body, and then the little kids riding the tricycle. It was Biden, right? Anyway, did you see that? Bless his heart, he was riding his bike.
I
and
heard
fell
about
over.
it. I didn't see it.
I thought about you. I said, "Is Chad gonna go operate on him, go fix him or something?" Anyway, why I said that, I have no idea.
Just to get us in trouble. That number again, folks.
I had to get it in there. All right, let's talk about some of our great people, man. I appreciate all of our fine people we have here. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road in beautiful Panama City Beach. If you want your vehicle to look brand new, I'm talking about showroom ready. Go by and try it out. You'll absolutely love it. They bought the best equipment. Everything they use is top notch. That's the reason it looks so like a brand new car when you come through there. Incredible. Newbies, we got 3 great locations. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast. You all know that. Every Friday and Saturday night. It was packed out this past Friday night, too. And Newbies Still on the Curb. You can watch the championship games out of Omaha. Watch them there. Again, Auburn's going to start. First pitch is at 6, and the second game in the afternoon is Arkansas, Ole Miss. I think it's 6 o'clock. You know, Newbies, too, and watch it there and have a great time. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. The best barbecue you can get anywhere. I was driving through Texas. I saw those places everywhere. Very popular place. The turkey sandwich is incredible. Ethan Boyd does a great job. I know he was happy because the Aggies won. Get out there and support them. We'll be right back. You listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. For the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area, it's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. A chance of showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A weather front stalled out very close to us. It'll be partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear tonight. Around 93 for the high, 75 for the low, east wind at 10, and the water temperature in the Gulf is 85 degrees at this time. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Now,
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Today is Monday. Dr. Chad Mitchell with us every Monday. Appreciate Chad being here. A question for you, Chad. NIL deals, I think it's something we're going to be dealing with for forever now, it seems like. And it's important that the Alabamas of the world, the Georgias, they're going to have to step it up. They used to be used to have the standard of recruiting.
Texas, USC, of course, USC's been doing really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
it's
Nick
changing college football, and it's going to change college baseball and other things too.
Nick was the king. Georgia had Mark Richt. He had won 80% of his games.
Mm-hmm.
They fire him because he didn't win the right games, was the saying. and recruiting wasn't where it was like Alabama. They wanted to win championships there, and some people were upset about it. I was upset about it. But my boy Kirby got the job, which I love him, and I'm glad he's a head coach of Georgia. But look what he's done. He can recruit like Nick. But now both of them, I don't know if both those schools have the type of money that Texas A&M has. And the reason I want to go with this, and I'm going to ask you a question in this. This is what's happened recently with Texas A&M. Last year they had the greatest class ever put together in the history of college football. Okay,
recruiting
wise.
Yeah.
So they're on the way to win a championship. Texas A&M just got the number 6 player in the country. Okay, that doesn't surprise me too much. Now, when I tell you where he's from, it surprises me. He's a 5-star wide receiver, Brandon Ennis. I think his name is Ennis. The number 2 receiver in the entire country. And this is a 5-star now. 5 stars usually are first-round draft picks. Well, not always, but sometimes. He's in the class of 2023, I believe. He got, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back. Now, in the class of 2022, okay, they signed 2 5-star receivers. Texas A&M did. So if you're a high school player, you go visit the Ohio States, the Alabamas, and then you go visit Texas A&M, Clemson, Florida, whatever. And you look at the roster and you want to play early as a 5-star. And you say, man, he just got 2 in there right now. They're incoming freshmen. Do I really want to go there, or do I want to go where another school where I might have a chance to play earlier? I mean, you got to look at the whole picture. I'm not saying that'll stop you or make you go. I'm not saying that, but you got to think about that.
And
okay?
some of these 5-stars, I mean, like Alabama's had a few that they just didn't pan out.
Right. Well,
yeah.
You're going the wrong direction.
I know
here.
I am.
You're going the wrong direction.
I'm just throwing it.
You're not fitting my. You're not on the Democrat side now. Get with me. You got to think and say what I want. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now Ennis was the fourth recruit in Florida. Okay. Fourth recruit in Florida. He played varsity football as an 8th grader. Okay. As an 8th grader, he's been a football player on the varsity team. So you know he's a great football player. He picked A&M over Alabama, USC, Ohio State, Miami, LSU. I mean, you name it. He's the guy. But this is the crazy thing about all this. He's from Miami Garden, Miami. He's from Miami, okay? He's 6'1", 200 pounds. NIL deal, you think that had something to do with him not going to Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Ohio State?
Well, do we know what NIL deal he got?
No, they didn't get any, remember? Jimbo said last year there was none of them.
I think there ought to be a full disclosure of all of it, just so we can see.
And no,
so we know.
But let's break it down.
Yeah.
You look at Texas A&M, the facilities are incredible. I mean, really, you go look at their stadium; it's beautiful. The football stand, it's all first class, no doubt about it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so are the other ones that he went and looked at, and I'm just wondering. I don't know anything. I'm just wondering what kind of NIL deal he got, or did he get one at all? And I think we all know the answer to that. But Jimbo says they don't do that. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
Well,
great
Spurrier had an answer for that.
Yeah. And what was that? Yeah. Did Saban say that wasn't true?
It wasn't true. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that's just one of them. They also got the number 1 linebacker in the country, Anthony Hale, 3rd-ranked player overall. Of course, now he's from Denton, Texas. He's a Texas boy. I can see that one, no problem. Going there. And I can see a kid from Miami going, hey, look, I'm going to go to Texas A&M because they got great facilities, and I like that NIL deal. But anyway, I'm just curious to see what he did in the NIL deal. Now, getting back to this Hill guy, Chad, he had 236 tackles, 11 sacks, 29 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. As a sophomore, he was max prep All-American as a sophomore. Junior year All-American. They won a 5A state championship. 6'2", 225, can run like a deer. He's beautiful. I mean, he's a skinny 225. He picked Texas A&M over Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, Southern Cal, Arkansas, and Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Auburn. So recruiting, they're getting ready to put together another unbelievable class. And what I'm getting at, this NIL deal, if they did do it or didn't do it, and to me, I think they did it. That's just me. I think they know they're going to get these NIL. Now, technically, they hadn't done it yet. Only one had. But you know and I know they got things set up for them.
Yeah.
So Jimbo really didn't lie. But Texas A&M in the future, I think they're going to be a powerhouse. When you get the number one class, 7 5-stars, they've got 2. They got more than 2 now. The number one linebacker in the entire country. They got one of the top receivers in the entire country, and they're just they're just starting. I mean, it's all these recruiting rankings, and recruiting doesn't even matter now because they don't sign to the fall. So I'm telling you, man, that NIL deal, Southern Cal's going to be back on top. Notre Dame is putting out the money, it seems like right now. But Texas A&M, watch out. Now, is Texas going to match that?
They should be able to at some point here.
They got the money to do it.
And I have my own set of questions.
Uh-oh.
I mean, when I think about this, I think about, the long-term effects on college football. So do you think we'd ever have a player who gets a great NIL deal and decides to stay an extra year in college and not go to the NFL because he's doing really well?
Hey. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
There might be some players that actually hang around longer.
Yeah. If you're making $1 million a year,
think about it.
Get their 4-year degree on the 10-year plan.
Exactly.
The only reason that would happen, that you made a deal with a player, like you got these quarterbacks coming into Tennessee. I think the amount of money was crazy. I can't remember what it was right now, but it was crazy. Just signing his name in high school, he had $325,000 right then. But it's just I'm talking millions of dollars. So they get him, and the evaluation wasn't correct. So he's not this NFL-type player. He's not going to be a first, second-round pick. But if he's third, fourth, why would he leave where he's making more money in college?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
But if he pans out to be a really good player,
right,
he's gone. I mean, because the NFL money is so much. Fitzpatrick just got like a $36 million signing bonus as a highest-paid safety in football. You remember Alabama's great All-American?
Yeah.
He could stay in college and hone his skills.
And where I think about this is, like Bo Nix. If he'd have had a good year last year, he could have probably tried to go to the NFL, right? But, but he goes out to Oregon. I mean, I'm sure there's some NIL deal with all that as well, right? But, I mean, he's capitalized on playing, college football, and there's going to be some players that are able to do that.
Yeah.
It's almost like college has become the minor league, professional league, so to speak, that they can get paid now. Now, not
that's
necessarily
exactly
paid
to, that's what it's
not paid to play,
yeah.
but paid to use their name, image, and likeness. Yeah.
I'm really shocked when I saw that the kid down at Miami, because I thought I thought 2 other schools had him. I won't mention one of them, but one of them I really like. They probably thought they had him, and then all of a sudden the guy's going to Texas A&M, and we heard about all the NIL deals. Again, let's be fair and balanced. A&M said it wasn't true. So we'll see. They're doing a great job. I got to give them credit.
Either way, they're doing a great job. I mean, now if it's all legal and on the up and up.
Hey, everything's legal.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything wrong. Everything's legal.
If it's legal, they're doing a good job.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Just like you said a minute ago, college football is changing.
It is.
You got to have big.
I hope it's not for the worse, but
Alabama fans out there, big boosters, we need to Chad Mitchells of the world. We need to open that pocketbook a little bit deeper now. Saban wants me to talk to you. I got to tell you.
That's it. No more Auburn games. I'm not going to any more Auburn games.
I got to talk to you after the show. Saban wants to talk to you. Get him on the phone with Saban. Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. Bay Point Golf. We had such a wonderful time Friday night. Ron Moses did a great job. And again, bingo's coming pretty soon. That's going to be a really nice thing to do. But we had TVs on, watching games, playing that. The questions he asked, though, I mean, some of the questions, I'm like, come on. I just wasn't enough sport questions.
Julie had to keep bailing him out.
I tell you what, it was fun. We had a great time there. Get out to Bay Point. Love golf. There's only one place to go. That is Bay Point. Also, Dr. Ward 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please don't put it off. If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Call Dr. Ward's office, make an appointment, go by and see him. Do not put it off. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Big John's, retired police officer. Their family's had a deli for over 100 years in New York. The food's incredible. Just for him being a retired police officer, we go support that. That's just right there. But the food's incredible. They're doing good, Chad. That place is packed out all the time. Really good. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. Go by and try them. Tell them Coach sent you. You'll love it. We'll be right back. The Alabama Crimson Tide, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in Northwest Florida can change on a dime.
Gale force winds bombarded with heavy rain.
That's why 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most up-to-date forecast on the Gulf Coast. Hi, this is staff meteorologist Tim Root. With over 40 years of experience, I know just how fast we can go from sun and fun to a serious situation. For the most accurate and detailed weather when it matters, rely on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Good Monday morning. A chance of showers at thunderstorms today and tonight. A weather front stalled out very close to us. It'll be partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear tonight. Around 93 for the high, 75 for the low, east wind at 10, and the water temperature in the Gulf is 85 degrees at this time. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
At Slim Chickens, we're known for our fresh, hand-breaded tenders, perfectly fried wings, great craft sandwiches, and more. We believe in the power of a shared meal, served in a friendly atmosphere by the best team around. And we're looking for motivated members to join our team. For a chance to work in a fun, fast, casual, friendly environment, text 3351 to 31063 to apply. Slim Chickens, Lynn Haven, Panama City, Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach, and coming soon to Callaway.
United by sports. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll. We got to teach him better how to do that. You know what? Chad, he has not gotten it yet. He'll get it, though.
He's from Cincinnati.
But he's smart. He's highly intelligent. He loves winners.
I didn't say he wasn't highly intelligent.
Alabama Crimson Tide update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason, love you guys. You do such an incredible job there. Any kind of problems right now, if it's not cooling your house down, of course it's gonna be. You better have a good unit to cool it down right now. But if you're having problems, call Stevenson. Let them come out, service it, see if they can get it working right. If not, get you a brand new one. It's the only thing you can pay that pays for itself because you save so much money every single month in your electricity bill. Chad, you've used them. They do such an incredible job at Stevenson Air Conditioning.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. All right, Alabama update. Let's get into Bama, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Chad, the Alabama Crimson Tide, ESPN's computer predicts the top 4 teams in the playoffs. And they got they have the ranking of the top 4 teams right now. After spring football, the latest, every other day it changes or something else coming out. Do you think Bama's ranked number 1? Did you see it?
I did see it.
God dog it.
I'm always looking at your notes to see what we're about to talk about.
Let's ask the stud over there.
Listen,
is Bama ranked number 1?
Fifth Amendment.
You think Bama's number 1?
You called me a Cincinnati. No.
Kentucky Wildcat.
There you go. Now you're talking.
No, they're not. The number one team, according to ESPN, is the Ohio State Buckeyes. I tell you what, I do think they're going to have a chance.
They're going to have a good team. There's no question.
They should win it this year.
Yeah, but number one?
They got them number one. Number two, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number three, the Georgia Bulldogs. And number four, Clemson.
I don't know about number four. We'll see.
Don't
get me wrong. I'm not knocking Clemson.
They were terrible last year. They still won 10 games.
Right.
They
I know
still won 10 games.
But they were not a contender. And don't get me wrong, they could be this year. I hope they are. I like Dabo Swinney. Definitely want to see Clemson be competitive like they have been. But it's to be seen. So I don't know that I would pick them number 4 this far in. Now, could they make it? Absolutely.
So I always look at the schedule. But after seeing what Southern Cal's put together, it wouldn't shock me year one for Roddy
for them to be in there.
Yeah, I think you might have brought up how they gel, how they come together.
Right, and how does he coach? I mean, he's not had any defenses, so I mean, if he does make it, is he going to survive the playoffs, or is he going to get beat first game? He's just not had a defense.
It's going to be interesting this year, and we don't know. Oklahoma lost a lot, the new coaching staff there. Texas is supposed to be really good this year. We'll know the week 2 when they play Alabama there. The game's sold out. 11 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be 110 degrees. It's going to be a nightmare. If you're a fan, bring you one of those.
Where's it going to be? Is it Tuscaloosa?
No, it's in
Austin?
Austin, Texas.
Well, it's a dry heat, Coach.
I tell you what, I was over that dry heat about 2 weeks ago. That's some hot. I don't care what it is. It's hot.
The oven's dry heat too.
Yeah,
they might be. What,
dry heat till you start sweating.
It might be Central Florida, man. Houston might be the new love. Last year was Cincinnati. Who's your lover out there? Who do you love out there? Your underdog? Is it Central?
I think at some point, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Gus Malzahn's going to probably turn UCF back around a little bit and get them back up there.
Well, they joined the Big 12.
Being mentioned at least. Now he's going to have to go undefeated, right? That's the only way one of those teams gets in.
Right. Houston, I think, now is the favorite child
after
beating Auburn in the bowl game.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. A lot of football to be played. A lot of this stuff's going to come down to who can stay healthy, who doesn't beat themselves, penalties, injuries, all kind of different things. Strength of schedule. And you look at Alabama, Georgia, strength of schedule compared to most of them is going to be a lot tougher because they're in the SEC. Out of those 4, the toughest schedule is going to be Alabama's. You play in the SEC West, your non-conference game, one of them is Texas. So it's going to be tough on Bama. Ohio State, the Big Ten is tough, so I think they have the second toughest pass. Georgia has a pretty easy schedule, even though they're still in the SEC compared to, I like the way it sets up.
They're still far and away better than anybody in the East, I think.
Well, we'll see.
The year.
Everybody's giving Tennessee a lot of love, but Clemson, their schedule compared to the other 3 is cakewalk compared to the other 3.
The other one I'll mention, and I don't know if they're going to make it to the playoffs or not, but, I mean, you look at FSU's schedule. It's a reasonable schedule for the coach and where he is in this program building.
I got to see it to believe it.
Right, I know, but I'm saying when you look at their schedule, I mean, if they could get on a streak of winning, I mean, they could pull it off.
See, now I think their schedule is very difficult because you're in the ACC, which is not that tough a conference. But look who they open up with. They got LSU, and they close of the year with Florida. Yeah. They got Clemson. I mean, Miami. I mean, they play a tough.
I know,
schedule.
But if they beat those teams,
if they beat them, they're in.
Then they've
we're
got
gonna
the
know.
other teams.
We're gonna know week 1. That's Sunday night.
Yeah.
If they go in there and they look like the old Florida State teams and win that game there, like it's really a home game for LSU, then they got a chance. But I got to see it. So I see it. I'm not gonna believe it.
Right.
I'm hoping. We're gonna go. Now you were talking about the SEC East. This is the latest. I don't know. This was, and I meant to write down. I apologize. I didn't. I forgot what this is from. But this is the SEC prediction from the East. Georgia number 1, Tennessee number 2.
See, now Smitty, he missed last Monday, right? He missed when we talked about defenses. and he missed that we were
Should've been
talking about
listening.
how.
I'm listening. I'm listening
Now
right
he's
now.
listening.
I love dogs.
Now he's listening.
I'm listening now.
Anyway, we covered SEC defenses and the predictions for 2022. Now, whether they come true or not is another story, right? But Tennessee is one of the teams that's struggling right now with defensive talent. They've got offensive talent,
Right.
And we know Heupel is definitely capable of putting an offensive team together and scheme and come out and beat teams. But Tennessee's got a problem with their defense. This is all after spring, looking at it. I mean, this is what a lot of the sports writers are putting out there. So, could Tennessee be surpassed by, say, Florida? Is Tennessee going to be that good? I think they're going to be good overall. Their defense, I think, is the huge question mark. So, really, are they number 2 in the East? They got to prove it. I don't think they're going to be. I think you're going to see some other team take that spot.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to beat some teams they're not supposed to beat. But I think their defense is going to struggle.
I think Alabama
based on what I'm seeing at this
be
point.
ready to play when they play Tennessee.
Absolutely, always.
That game's up there. Brian and I talked about that. We feel like he's pretty sharp at this stuff. He looking at the schedules, the way things set up. You better
one of the
watch out.
teams that was doing really well at the end of the season that I think it could potentially surprise a lot of us is South Carolina. So I would put South Carolina up a little higher. I'm looking at your list. I always cheat and look over there. But
Thank you for cheating.
Yeah.
Number 3 was Kentucky.
You're learning, aren't you, Doc?
Kentucky's solid now. I got to give Stoops.
Yes,
they're
Kentucky's
always
solid. I like them as well.
Florida Gators 4th.
Yeah, we'll see we'll see what Napier does. I mean, he's got a big challenge.
First year's your hardest. No doubt
we
about
talked defense last Monday. He's brought in a defensive coordinator and a defensive line coach, and he's, Florida has got to stop some people, and then they've got to get their offense on track, and Napier's trying to do that.
Here's your Gamecocks are number 5, Missouri 6, Vandy 7.
Yeah, Missouri's going to have a pretty decent defense because they've got a lot of returning players. And the comment that I laughed about the most was that Vandy's defense would not be last in the SEC. They weren't last year. They were not last year. But Vandy's not going to do that well based on spring and talent and that kind of thing. It doesn't look like they're going to do all that great.
All right, SEC West, number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Texas A&M. Number 3, Arkansas. Number 4, LSU. Number 5, Ole Miss. Number 6, Mississippi State. And my Auburn Tigers last.
Yeah.
What a conference. What a conference.
Oh, my God. Look at those teams. That's incredible.
Yeah. So
Arkansas is going to be really good.
Yeah, Arkansas is going to be really good. Arkansas, I mean, A&M has got a lot of talent. I want to see those two play. I so want to see that game.
Which one was that?
The Arkansas Texas A&M game.
Heck, Arkansas. I was going to get you Alabama A&M tech. Now you don't want to forget it.
Well, no, I want to go to that one as well. I want to go to that one. But Arkansas is going to have a really good team. We'll see how Kelly does with LSU. Auburn is just not going to have a defense right now. I mean, now, we'll see what Harson's able to do. I really think that, the boosters have really cut the legs out from under Harson, and it doesn't really matter what he does at this point. I mean, he's just missing a lot of talent, and I think a lot of the Auburn fans feel that way too, at least the ones I talk to.
Well, let me ask you this. Every time, of course, Gus was a coach then. Every time we thought Auburn's going to be terrible,
right?
Gus had a really good year.
Right.
And the years we thought they're going to be really good,
there's some truth to that. And if a coach can get players to rise above their talent level, which that happens.
See, I think Auburn's got better talent than what people think.
And that may be true, but they're going to have to prove it.
Yeah,
yep.
I agree. And again, they got to stay healthy. Their starters can play. The question at Auburn, the backups, they're going to have to stay healthy. They can, but that schedule, their schedule's probably.
But I certainly hope they're not last in the SEC West.
I can't believe.
I
don't think so.
I don't know. Mississippi State. We'll see how good Mississippi State is. Ole Miss is going to continue to be a threat.
Offensively good.
Lane Kiffin is just and their defense is supposed to be really good this coming up year. So
the SEC West is loaded. Arkansas to be really good, but they're going to beat each other up.
Yep, they're all going to beat each other up, and I think that's why that poll that you had for the playoffs had Ohio State number 1, because I think that's what you're going to see with the SEC.
Yeah.
You're going to see them beat each other up. There may only be one SEC team that makes it. Maybe Georgia.
And that would be a shame.
Yeah, but I'm just
if
saying.
Bama's not in it, we're hurting.
Yeah. So
that was good. Alabama makes the final 2 for 5-star offensive tackle. That Proctor kid out of I think he's out of Indiana. It's Alabama or Iowa. I think he's out of Iowa. 43 scholarship offers. He's not a very big kid. 6'7", 330. That's a big old boy. Number 2 offensive lineman in the country. At one time he has top 7. Georgia, Iowa, Michigan, Notre Dame, Oregon, Penn State. But it's come down between Bama and Iowa. I don't know. You think this kid will come down south? You think he stays up in Iowa?
Well, if that's home.
I hope we get him. He's a good-looking kid.
I know, but some kids want to stay close to home. So as long as he doesn't go to Michigan, we're okay.
Hey, it's kind of rude. You invite people to come in and be here. Come on in at 7, spend some time with us, and they show up at 8, 8:15. Anyway,
during the Alabama,
I'm not saying who it is.
Divas.
Anyway, we get back. We got the Auburn Tigers. Maybe a special guest walks in here. What do you think? You think so?
Special.
Well, let's just say a guest.
His mama told him he was special, I think.
Well, I tell you what is special, and you know this. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive, is special. Every Wednesday, world-famous spaghetti, but every day, world-famous seafood. Go try it. You'll absolutely love it. All the people from everywhere come into J. Michael's. Legendary. They probably got $5,000 hanging from the walls and mirrors and windows. It's crazy. Guns, boats, you name it, everything's in there. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the first pair of scissors he cut a guy's knees with her in there. Scalpel, the first scalpel he used in there.
The first hammer and chisel.
He's got some blood, dried up blood on that
sledgehammer I used on Coach Hale.
Anyway, get out J. Michael's Restaurant. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Appreciate Jason, the Alabama update. Buffalo Rock, the finest company out there. They've given so much back to Bay County, especially Bay County schools. We appreciate them. Go support them. And don't forget about South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker, number 1, not even close. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. War Damn Eagle.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keith, you used to watch the Adam West Batman?
Absolutely.
That was my favorite show ever. Batman! Yeah. Oh, my God, that show was so good.
Catwoman, the whole deal.
Julie Newmar was my all-time crush. Oh, my God.
That was right? Remember she used to make that sound?
It's perfect. Oh, that Batman right there. It's the best TV I ever saw in my life to this day.
Boom, bang,
yeah.
pow.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max. Weekday mornings 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. A chance of showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A weather front stalled out very close to us. It'll be partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear tonight. Around 93 for the high, 75 for the low, east wind at 10, and the water temperature in the Gulf is 85 degrees at this time. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. Hey, 1 o'clock today. Auburn and who?
Ole Miss.
Stanford. I think. Yeah, I got to go back and look, too. Auburn baseball day. Big.
It is Stanford.
Big game. The loser goes home.
They lost to Ole Miss. That's all I could think of.
Loser goes home. Winner keeps playing. Auburn's going to get it done. I feel good about it. Come on, Tigers, get it done today. That baseball team.
I mean,
there you go.
That Ole Miss pitcher just shut them down. I mean, and Auburn's had hot bats.
Yeah.
And I hope they haven't slowed down. I hope they learn.
No, they'll
something
get it
from
back
that
today.
game. That's what I'm saying.
Get it back today.
Hope they can whip.
They had
Stanford
51 runs like in 3 games.
Yeah.
And but you're right, man. Ole Miss came in there. They did it to Hattiesburg too. The Southern Mississippi had a good little baseball team.
I know.
They shut them down pretty
Ole
good.
Miss has been playing good ball.
Yeah. Ole Miss might win the whole thing. Who knows? All right, let's get into Auburn. Good luck to them today. Hopefully we'll get up with Andy Burcham tomorrow at 8:15, talk about everything that's going on up there. We want them to win and stay out there and have a great time. Now, you were talking about, Chad, you made a great point about, especially the defense side about Auburn. Up front, the front seven are really good. The starters are outstanding. They're good. They've had a lot of people leave. They've got some guys coming in. They just got another one. This kid's got a good-looking body. Hopefully he can, if he can't be a great starter for him, hopefully he can provide some depth for the Auburn up front. Marcus Bragg, a graduate transfer from Western Kentucky, has announced his commitment to Auburn. Man, it feels wonderful. I just feel the love. I'm happy to be here. He played 3 seasons for the Hilltoppers after transferring in from Mississippi Delta Community College. Defensive lineman, which they need, as you pointed out.
Absolutely, they need one. Yeah.
And this guy's he's a pretty looking guy, good looking body, looks good. He had 26 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, forced fumbles, did some good things in his college career. Michigan. Hey, good morning, Michigan Eddie.
Good morning, Coach.
Great to have you. Great to have you here this morning. Late, but you're here.
On my day off, mind you.
I know that.
I don't get paid for this. Fairly observed holiday, and I don't get paid.
Well,
I'm gracing you with our presence.
You are, and I want
Both Eddies.
I want you to lift this show up. Right now,
I will.
Okay?
By golly,
Take it to the next level. It needs to. But Auburn needs some backups. Needs some guys who can step in and play. I think they've got one. The guys got. You see some of these guys coming from smaller schools, and you go, hey, they're getting a guy from a. Yeah. They've watched film. They know the kid can play or not. Right. If he can't play, they're not going to offer him a scholarship.
He's got some experience above the high school level.
Right.
And that's what's huge. I mean, so sometimes these transfers are, a big boost to, what one of the teams needs. And Auburn definitely needs defensive linemen. They lost Pegues, who I think would have been a good, lineman for them. He lost him to the transfer portal, and, they lost some other players as well, moving on. So, Auburn's really got to do something with their defense.
Defensive linemen's what they needed. They've gone out and addressed this problem. The kid's a very good athlete, can move really well, got a good-looking body. And I love everything he said. He's excited about being at Auburn.
Right.
Fell in love with the place, the coaches, the players.
Got to have that
so
as well.
this is what the chemistry. I like what he's saying.
Got to have chemistry.
I like this. I think this is a big pickup for Auburn, and let's see how it pans out for Auburn. Now, I want to get away from recruiting real quick. I want to talk about other things. You might can help me with this. I don't know if you saw it or not. I watched this almost the entire day. Saturdays Down South had the history of the SEC, and they got into the 50s and 60s, and they did a story on Ralph Shug Jordan. The stadium's named after him. Growing up, when we grew up in Michigan Eddie, his show would come on for 1 hour. He had the Bear Bryant show, Shug Jordan show. We would watch it. Everybody come off the streets, run in to go watch these playbacks. It was a huge deal. And I'm telling you, I think everybody in that state had respect, and I'd say love to Coach. I was an Alabama guy, I was a Bear Bryant guy, but Shug was just a class act. Did you ever watch his shows growing up?
You're a little bit older than me, so I didn't see his show. I did see Bear Bryant shows.
Yeah, it was really good. Now
and Pat died.
His last year at Auburn was in 1975. He died in 1980. I want to say it was leukemia. I can't remember now. But anyway, when he got to Auburn, this is what I love about him. I think about you. This is what I love about this guy. He fought in World War II in Germany. He got, shot up. He wouldn't go back. He wanted to stay with his men and keep on fighting, and they let him, and he did that. Then they sent him over to South Pacific, so he was there. I mean, just a true American, all-American type person. I mean, someone you can respect, love, and think the world of. I never heard the man in 25 years watching his shows, heard him say anything negative about anybody. Never said a bad word about Bear Bryant publicly or anything like that. And when he died, Bear went to his funeral, and Bear was back of the chapel or whatever, and his family saw him, his wife had Coach Bryant come up front, and they had a lot of respect for one another. Bear Bryant said that Suge Jordan has more courage in his little finger than I do in my entire body. What he did in his life was incredible. When he got to become the head football coach at Auburn, athletic director, he went down and borrowed $100,000 because they were hurting financially. They were hurting. They borrowed $100,000. Obviously, they paid it back, and Auburn went on to do some great things. He won the national championship, I think it was 1957, and beaten Alabama all those years. And then all of a sudden, they had to bring Coach Bryant in to say, Mama called, we need help. And then it turned into a war between him and Auburn, trying to win the Alabama State Championship. But just watching his story, did you ever see that? Have you ever heard his story?
No, I'm going to search it up, though.
Yeah, you'll like it. Yeah. You'll really like it. But when I heard all this stuff about him, some of the things I knew, some things I didn't, it kind of reminded me some things. But the respect, I think Coach Bryant had a lot of respect for him. He liked him. I think everybody did. I don't even remember Alabama fans really and truly ever saying, and of course I was younger then, maybe they did. I'm sure some of them did. But I just don't remember anybody bad-mouthing Suge Jordan ever.
No.
I mean, what?
And my dad, he was an Auburn grad, and he thought he was a great coach. I mean, my dad loved coaches. That's how I became an Alabama fan. He liked Bear Bryant as well.
Yeah.
But no, he had just nothing but good things to say about Suge. And what a great coach, great individual. Obviously, there's part of his story I didn't know. I didn't know the World War II part.
Oh my God,
well,
yeah, Germany.
Look that up. But,
big, huge battles in Germany. Got some shrapnel, and they were going to get him out of there. He goes, no, he wanted to get back to his unit and keep on going. And then after that, they shipped him off to the South Pacific. Same thing, one of the big battles out there. His life story is incredible. And you watch the way he acted. He was always like a great gentleman, the way he talked. I used to love watching his shows. And I was a big Bama guy, but I liked him, and I watched his show. My dad liked him a lot, too. And he was a big Alabama guy. So that just kind of tells you the kind of guy he is. And those kids played for him, man. He ran a good program. They won a national championship.
57, like you said.
Yeah, and Pat Sullivan won the Heisman in 71.
Yeah, good quarterback.
And really, you think about Auburn football, to me, is him and Pat Dye.
Right.
I mean, I know Tuberville did some great things, but to me, is Pat Dye, what he did and what Suge did for 25 years is unbelievable. Coach Bryant, during the war, their ship got hit. He was in the Navy, and they were ordered to abandon ship. Well, he didn't do it. He stayed on board, and thank God he didn't, because the ship didn't sink, and he was safe. But a lot of them got in that water and never came back out. So he did not listen to the abandoned ship, and he made it. but he knew the story. Coach Bryant knew the life story. He knew about Suge, and he said that. He goes, hey, that man has more courage in his little. I got my little finger. That man has his whole body. It's just unbelievable what he thought about Suge, and I just thought it was really good.
He won the Purple Heart and got the Bronze Star. He was in North Africa and Sicily, and he was also in the Battle of Normandy.
So two of the biggest battles.
Yep.
Two of the worst battles in American history he was part of. He survived it. I mean, he got shot up, but he survived it.
Yeah, and that history slowly being lost as we lose some of these veterans. A lot of them are like 100 years old.
Younger people now have no idea what's going on,
and how brutal that type of fighting was. I mean, you kind of see this. I don't want to get off sports, but you see the Ukraine right now, and it's a lot of tech and that kind of thing. And I mean, people are dying, but I mean, to take something, you had to send a bunch of men up the hill.
Yeah.
I mean, or go take the pillbox.
It's not what you just said about the veterans, slowly, passing on, but it's our history books are slowly erasing a lot of our history.
Or they just don't talk about it.
They just don't talk about it. It's not in the books anymore. It's all about other things, and those important battles and wars, and the reason why we fought a war back then was a real reason, as opposed to, okay, I'll get off my, and now.
No, I mean, you're 100% right. They try to make us feel bad. No, they want us to feel bad about our past and what we were. The hell with them. I mean, I don't get it, man. We outnumber the idiots that live in this country. I'm sick of sitting back and keeping my mouth shut when they can say and do anything they want. I'm sorry. If that's right, wrong. I blame this for you, Chad. but it's amazing.
I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut, too.
There's a vocal minority, though. American patriots need to stand up.
We don't. We sit back.
Comes to a point where,
we got Buzz Lightyear kissing another damn man. Okay, that's what we've come to.
That's what started it all, Mr. Kennedy.
Buzz is kissing
another
this morning,
man. Before 7 o'clock, that's the first thing he said. He throwed his computer down and said, guess what?
Yeah, I will not go see it. I loved Buzz. And then they have Buzz kissing another. I'm done with Buzz. But anyway, thank you, Chad, for getting me in trouble. I appreciate that.
Shug was a 3-sport athlete, by the way.
He was
quarterback, baseball, and football. Just to get it back to the circle.
Yeah.
And
the stadium's named after him.
Yep.
So
now, where did he play college? Did you see that at all?
He was an Auburn guy.
So he was Auburn from the start.
Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know Coach Brown was in the Navy.
Auburn too. Vince Dooley, Auburn guy, played for Shug, coached for Shug.
Yep, coached for Shug.
Yeah,
he was there when my dad was there.
I don't know if he played for Shug, but he coached for Shug. But Shug Jordan, I got a lot of respect for that man. And I was like I said, grew up as an Alabama guy, but I always loved him. I thought the world of that guy. That's you just don't see that. What other college right now is another coach that you think that of that's not your team? And I thought that about Shug. That's what's special about that man. All right, let's talk about some. I got time to talk about any of them. Can I talk about my counselor that's going to help me calm down? Let's talk about Blue Sky Express Car Wash. Yeah, where's his Raptor? Do you see his Raptor out there?
I saw Doc's, yeah. I didn't see that one.
We got to get that thing to Blue Sky now.
Looks good.
I saw mud
looks like
on
it's
there.
been Blue Sky already. Looks good.
Nah, it doesn't look like it needs to look. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Baton Rouge Road will solve all your problems, Dr. Ward. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better? Go by and see Jason Kovaleski. Highly intelligent, a Buckeye. We'll be right back with a Wolverine. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
It will lay down. Base hit. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by Bill Burr Kia, Beltway Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Bay Handyman Services is your complete home services company. Their slogan is listen better, plan better, build better. Bay Handyman Services holds a 5-star rating, and they're a local company serving Bay and surrounding counties. They offer a wide variety of services, from simply hanging a picture to full house remodels. Bay Handyman Services provides 24/7 emergency services. Call them at 850-753-5014 or visit their website, bayhandymanservices.com.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Pardon me for getting off subject there.
Are you okay, Coach?
No, not really. I mean, truth be known.
He's had a hard weekend.
I worry about our country. I mean, seriously, I really, truly do. Just never in my lifetime I thought I would see the things.
His college football's being changed.
That's that's what's really got me. The NIL deal, man. A&M is tearing it up. It's worrying me. I'm like, how can we? As a Bama guy,
it is a cycle. No matter what's going on, there's going to be a cycle of good teams.
You're right.
Struggles, and
we might even see Michigan.
Look at Auburn right here. I mean, Auburn was national champs 2010. 2013 they went back and they lost to FSU, and then they've kind of struggled, and now they're like in the cellar with all these problems. Auburn's going to come back at some point as well. You know they are. So, the great ones
always,
Alabama, I remember
FSU
the 90s.
will be back.
I remember the 90s where Auburn beat us 6 years in a row, and we couldn't do anything right. It's it's cycles. There's cycles throughout history. It's going to be that way. Yeah. I remember when Michigan used to be good.
That was back when the Lion King was big. Yeah.
I'm just going to blame it on the politicians. Everything's the politicians' fault. But anyway, speaking of FSU, I got to say something. I think what they did to Coach Martin Jr. was wrong. I think he was a sympathy hire after his dad retired, and I don't think they really wanted to hire him in the first place. We took Eddie to camp there, a one-day baseball camp there last summer. Nice guy and all that. And then they gave him 2 years, and he's out the door.
Right.
And, I mean, if they weren't 100% on board with hiring him, they did a disservice to him, the legacy of his father, to the current players there, to the future players there, to the fans and all that. If they weren't all in on that hire, they should have hired someone they wanted, and then let it go. Do you agree? What say you guys?
Possibly. I mean, I thought it was a reasonable hire because he was an assistant coach, right? I've got that right, I hope, in my head. Wasn't he with his dad?
But wouldn't you give him more than 2 years, though?
I would definitely give him more than 2 years.
Wasn't he there 25 years as an assistant? He was there forever.
He played ball there for his dad, then he was assistant there.
I would have definitely given him more than 2 years.
I mean, yes, at least give him at least another year.
Wait a minute now. Look. Just like you said, some of the money people, didn't want him to get the job. The thing at Auburn, after 1 year, they wanted to fire Harsin.
Right.
The right people, the money people. So, but you got to win. I mean, the bottom line, you got to win.
Let's go back to the Auburn thing for a minute. I mean, because I can't help but think this, and because I'm an Alabama fan, and in the 90s we had this same problem. Who's going to want to go coach at Auburn if they get rid of Harsin next year?
I'll take it.
Well, I know you would.
It's a revolving door.
Yeah, it's a revolving door, and that's exactly right. And that's what was going on in Alabama in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 90s, that's what was going on. Alabama couldn't get a coach. They would get some good people, but,
They wanted Bill Curry shot, and he won the SEC.
Threw a brick through his window. And
no, I don't know if he won the SEC, but he played in the Sugar Bowl. Didn't they win the SEC that year? Or at least they got in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
They would.
He just lost to Auburn. He lost to Auburn every
3 years in a row.
Yeah, well, he had lost to Auburn at Georgia Tech too.
I don't know, Michigan. Yeah, baseball's so doggone big. They want to win, and they weren't happy, and they didn't think it's going to get corrected, so they got rid of him.
Well,
hey, it is what it is.
Well, how many years did they keep Coach Martin Sr. there? Like he was
Forever.
good, but he never won the pinnacle.
True.
Yeah. Well, I think the guy at Notre Dame's going to get the job. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Hey, look, we can get him in here. and get the ship
He might
going.
go to Michigan. Michigan's job's open. But I'll tell you one thing. If I had a choice between Michigan and Florida State, I'd go to Florida State. You see the crowds of the Big Ten tournament in Omaha compared to like the SEC or ACC crowds?
Right.
It's no comparison.
Right.
I mean, that's why Coach
I
Back
agree.
is part of that, why I think he left Michigan for Clemson, because he also played ball at ECU, longtime assistant at Clemson too. I mean, things are better in the South in some sports.
You were talking about.
Can't believe I just said that.
Well,
You live in the South. You live here.
Oh, that is true.
Your new team did pick up a kid out of Alabama, a player that's got a commitment. Cameron Sanderlin, I think is his name. Class of 2023, 6'4", 220 from Anniston, Alabama. He picked South Carolina over Kentucky, Mississippi State, played quarterback, but I think at Texas A&M they're going to move him to tight end. Good-looking athlete, good-looking body. This kid's going to go to the South Carolina Gamecocks. So I thought that would make you happy.
Well, little Eddie right over here, he went to Columbia last week. Maybe get him on next segment, talk about the camp and how he met Coach Beamer and all that.
Is he now running the show? He's bringing
Might
guests
as well.
on now.
I go to all your sponsors.
I mean,
Blue Sky.
Can I ask Michigan Eddie's son to come on and say you? Can I ask little Eddie, not you, ask him? Can I do that?
During the break, you can.
All right. Golly, man. Speaking, hey,
he wants you to stay away from his child.
No. He got a good look. I saw his wife and his beautiful family in a gorgeous. Was that a Ford?
Dang right, Detroit Rock City, baby.
It was
Motor
the
City.
Expedition, wasn't
Expedition.
it? Wow, I love that thing. It looked good. And y'all were down where? Blue Sky Express Car Wash. Eddie was there. His wife came in. I was sandwiched between them. I was trying to get, scrub my car. He didn't even offer to help. He knew I was struggling. He didn't even offer to help.
Actually, I did offer. You had your window rolled up. And that, you barely rolled the window down, Coach.
Yes. Dang it.
You got a good looking car yourself. Even though it is an import.
Hey.
Buy American.
Buy American. No, I buy what works. I used to listen. I used to
Toyota.
I used to buy American.
Toyotas are assembled in America?
Yeah, that's right. As long as they're assembled like Kia,
No,
Hyundai,
hey,
all made in Alabama.
I don't waste my money. I buy things that I know is going to last a long, long time. Hey, Arch Manning, the #1 player in the country, in Texas for his third visit, okay?
I hope he doesn't go there.
Third time in June he's already been there. #1 recruit. It's his fourth time total going to Texas.
Texas is toxic, Coach.
Stark, got to give them credit. They're doing a good job in recruiting. They got enough money in NIL to do whatever they need to do to get the players in there. They got 2 Bama transfers there that they used to coach. The tight end, Billingsley, and the other one, the wide receiver that was a pretty good player. Maybe
Jai Hall.
Yeah, maybe good.
Good luck to Sarkisian on those 2 players. He's got a.
Well, maybe he can motivate him to get it done. I'm going to keep him. You know
Yeah.
what? If they do great, that's okay. I hope the kids grow up and do well.
They got to change some attitudes.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, they keep saying Alabama's got a shot. I don't think you'll ever see a Manning going to Alabama. I don't. Archie was not a Bama guy. That was a big rival game. Bear was the coach. Vaughn was his coach at Ole Miss. First night game ever on ABC TV. He threw for like 500 yards. Alabama beat him 33-32, I think the score. I just don't see one of his kids going. The other 2 were top recruits in the country. I don't even know if they even visited Alabama.
Well, Alabama was horrible then. I mean, that was the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
still, I just don't see them. I would be shocked if he goes to Alabama. Georgia still got a shot after him. I think it's between Georgia and Texas. Georgia and Texas now, they both do not have quarterback pledges yet for the 2023 class. Alabama's got the 4-star quarterback. They've got one already. So we'll see how it plays out. If you're a Bama guy, don't get too excited. I don't see a Manning going to Alabama. That's just me. Do you think you'll see a Manning going to Bama and playing?
Well, I'd like to see him there. I'd like to see one of the Mannings just decide to do that. But everybody's saying it's between Texas and Georgia. Some people have downplayed Georgia. They think he's going to Texas.
All right, let's stay with the recruiting for a little bit, give you a little insight what's going on right now. Will Stallings, 3-star running back. That's a good ball player. You look at his highlights, the kid can play. But he's only a 3-star. He's out of Vegas, and that probably is why he's a 3-star because of Vegas.
But is he playing for Bishop Gorman out in Vegas?
6'2", 222, commits to Tennessee. Can you believe that Tennessee Volunteers? I don't know, Miss Getty.
Thank you for responding.
I don't know. But Tennessee, that's pretty good for the Vols to get a kid like this.
Yeah. I mean, Heupel's Heupel's got a great offensive scheme, and he's got, I think he's got to put together a defense, but Heupel's going to be a fun coach to play for. The UCF players really liked Heupel.
He's at a Beau Rivage High School in Las Vegas. Have you heard of that one? Beau Rivage.
Heard of the casino in Biloxi.
That's it. That's the junior high.
Hey, can I say something?
High school.
You guys always harp on stars, 5-star, 3-star, all that crap. I mean, that's all it is crap. Because here's the thing: if you don't got the coaches to develop these 5 stars, or whatever, they're gonna be kicked out of school. Like we had a 5-star Virginia running back go to Michigan, and he barely did anything. And I think that's more on the coaching. That's why Coach Hoke got let go, because he couldn't develop some players. So what do you say? And look at Marcus Ray, my brother Marcus out of Ohio. He was a 2-star coming out of Columbus, and look at what he did at Michigan. 97 national championship in the backfield, Charles Woodson, defensive doom and all that. And he knocked David Boston's cranium off. He made the cover of SI. Mm-hmm. And he played like a 5-star, but he was recruited as 2-star. So 2 stars, 3 stars, all this recruiting class rankings. I think rankings are kind of overrated and overinflated. Yes, I said that, Jason Kovaleski, Buckeye boy. I said that. Because it doesn't matter unless you develop the talent and mentor these youngsters.
Absolutely.
What say you?
I think.
Man, I'm fired up now.
I think you're right.
I think some of the 5 stars are really kind of arrogant at times.
Listen,
I mean, they've got to come in with a good attitude.
You got ESPN. You got 24/7. You got all these different.
You got NIL money.
You got but I'm saying you got all these different publications that come out with their rankings.
Yeah.
So we have way too many 5 stars. I mean, truly, a 5-star is supposed to be a guy that's going to be starting NFL and all this kind of stuff. That's
like a needle in a haystack, man.
Yeah,
a 5-star.
Yeah, I agree with that.
5
But how much time we got?
As much time as you want.
Jamal Jarrett, a 4-star out of North Carolina, names 2 SEC teams among his final 3. He's 6'6", Chad, 6'6", 350, Auburn and Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Auburn and Georgia.
He could go to Auburn and play right away.
That's right, and he knows that. 27 offers. He's number 26 offensive line. This is what I don't get now. You talking about that. That the 4-star, 5-star, that's okay. But what bothers me, they ranked this kid the number 1 tackle in the nation. So they went and watched every other tackle in the whole country. A guy in California, a guy in Florida. Yet they know, they're the experts. They know this is the number 1 tackle, and this guy over here is number 7. To me, that's crazy.
True.
Anyway, I got a break. We'll come back with Michigan. This is the Michigan Eddie update, 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I'll be right back with a Wolverine. Come here, little Michigan Eddie.
Coming on.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Thanks for nominating the Afternoon Underdogs as David Hayes for Best Radio Personality in Bay County. Vote for David and ESPN Northwest Florida in the Best of Bay with the Panama City News Herald. Voting's going to run July 1st through the 18th. For more details, keep listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, and remember, for a brighter tomorrow, vote David Hayes in 2022.
Good Monday morning. A chance of showers of thunderstorms today and tonight. A weather front stalled out very close to us. It'll be partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear tonight. Around 93 for the high, 75 for the low, east wind at 10, and the water temperature in the Gulf is 85 degrees at this time. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Hello, this is Rick Boston with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer. We are located on 2241 East Baldwin Road, Panama City. Shopping for an 8-foot to 16-foot in width or 10-foot to 60-foot in length, cabin, garage, portable building, whatever the needs are. Remember, at Stormore, we can insulate our buildings. We can put electric on, thermal windows, transom dormers. There's so much we can do. Stormore Portable Buildings, 2241 East Baldwin Road.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Pain don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are we back yet?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We're back. Let's go. We're going to talk, Dad.
That's great, Michigan. Hey, we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Little Eddie's with us this morning. Eddie, how you doing, sir?
Good.
I'm going to tell you something. That's a handsome boy right there.
Yeah.
You look just like your mama.
You
know that? Thank God.
Nothing like his daddy.
Doesn't look like me. Doesn't look like
you're
me.
handsome too. You're handsome too. Yeah, you
Fat
are.
and bald, man.
You look good. Tell me about South Carolina, the camp. How did they? It was a pretty good camp.
It was, yeah.
How many have you gone to where you can actually compare South Carolina to other schools?
I went to the Ole Miss camp and the South Carolina camp.
What was the difference in them?
South Carolina was a lot more crowded, and it had like a ton of people, so we barely got to do anything at any of the stations because everyone had to get reps.
Yeah, they have a lot of coaches. Was it mainly college guys, or did they have a lot of high school coaches there also at South Carolina?
They had a lot of like the assistant coaches, like the QB coach, the D lineman coach, and all those type of coaches.
Now, Lanes Kiffin is at Ole Miss. Did y'all even get to see him or talk to him? Was he out there coaching?
On the first day, we got to meet him a little bit, but that was it.
So he wasn't out there the entire time? Wow. So this is different. Now, Saban at their football camp, he's out there coaching every single snap. I mean, every period he's there coaching. I heard that from
some of my friends.
He coaches kids your age just like he's coaching his own players.
Right.
You get your money when you go to Bama. Now, what if it gets go to this Beamer at South Carolina? Was he there?
He was.
The whole time?
He was out there, and he would be inside. You just had to find where he was.
Yeah, so they got the indoor going on and the outdoor going on. Yeah. How many campers do you think were there?
I don't know. How many do you think?
Hundreds?
It was about between 150 200.
Wow.
The excitement was off the charts there from Deanna was talking to one of the moms, another parent, and they said the excitement for this football program has been like this for a while.
Right.
They could barely get people to go to that camp, and there was lines out the door every morning.
Yeah, was this when you were there? Was it your age group, or they have the high school guys somewhere else? Were they there?
This was just 6th through 8th grade youth camp.
Okay.
This was just no high schoolers allowed.
Yeah.
Granted, I think there's some high schoolers that snuck in there because there were some big boys there.
I saw some. Yeah. Well, they probably had them up there recruiting and look at them and showing them around.
Coach, in the 80s, I went to the South Carolina football camp
twice,
you really?
2
years in a row. Absolutely.
And who was the head coach?
Joe Morrison was the head coach.
Man in black.
I actually intercepted Joe Morrison throwing a pass to one of my receivers from one of my teams.
Yeah.
I read it and broke and picked it.
Joe Morrison, one of their big boosters, Foss and Sandy Chitty. Joseph Land had a trucking company down there, and he's from South Carolina, one of their big-time boosters, so they were close.
Yeah, he was trying to – in fact, he helped boost South Carolina's program a little bit. And, and it's grown. He did. He definitely got it going. But, so when I hear that, that's what I think. I'm thinking back to, the 80s. It would have been like 84, 85, where I was there at a high school football camp at South Carolina. I learned a lot from that. In fact, my junior and senior years, so that, it would have been, went to camp the summer before my junior year and the summer before my senior year. I actually took techniques I learned. I played strong safety as a starter. I was a backup quarterback, but I took techniques from that I wasn't getting taught by my coaches. Right. And I took that and I played with those and just different ways of thinking about things. I also watched how they coached the defensive linemen And sometimes as a player, I'd be telling my defensive lineman, do this, do a swim move on this guy. He's doing this, trying to help my players.
Yeah.
It was an invaluable experience.
What other camps did you go to besides South Carolina?
I did go to the Auburn kicking camp, and that was an experience. I never ended up kicking very well, but I got paired up. I'm blanking on I'm having a senior moment, if you will, here.
So that was Pat
Win
Dye's
Lyle.
camp,
Win
right?
Lyle. I was paired up with Win Lyle. Win Lyle had never kicked either. He and I had, and so they had all these players they're looking at. Win Lyle and I have never really kicked, and he and I got along just fine. And I could tell Win Lyle was becoming a natural at it. All these little techniques they had you doing. The next year we played Auburn High School. And Win Lyle was kicking, 30-something yard field goals like they were nothing. Next year as a senior, he's kicking 40 and 50-yard field goals. Next thing you know, he's the kicker for Auburn, and we'd meet on the field after the games. I've never talked to him since. I hear he's an orthopedic surgeon in Opelika. That's what I hear. But anyway.
So that was a Pat Dye camp you went to.
Yeah, it was a Pat Dye kicking camp, and Doc Story was the kicking guru.
Yeah.
And there was a punter from Florida that was there. I forgot his name. There was a good kicker from Auburn. I'm blanking on his name. He went pro. And I wish I could remember the name, but he was there. You had all these pros, but and I actually got to shake Pat Dye's hand.
Yeah.
But Joe Morrison, I got to shake Joe Morrison's hand. But Joe Morrison was on the field all the time, like you're talking about Beamer being out there. But it's good to talk about these camps because I think parents need to understand if you've got a high school player, even if or youth player, even if they're not the best player and you don't think they're going to make it to another level, there's still a lot they can learn to have a great high school experience. My experience in high school was better because I went to those camps.
Right. Now, Eddie, what position are you playing?
Quarterback.
Now, did you learn something at South Carolina that maybe you didn't pick up somewhere else? Just something small technique?
Nope.
Same old, so everybody's doing the same thing?
Yep.
They have you doing knee drills, sitting drills, all that kind of stuff, or just mainly stand drills when you're throwing?
It was mainly standing.
Okay. All right. So you need to go to a different camp.
No. I'll do. He's got a personal coach, QB Vision, out of Nashville.
Now they got everything.
So he gets his quarterback trained through them, and he's going to go up there before the duel in Atlanta next month. And like I said, one of their students is Cutter Bolney. What's his name? Cutter. He just got offered by Alabama. He's one of QB Vision's.
The 2025.
Yeah, Cutter Boley, 2025 out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Got offered by Bama. That's one of Coach Max and Bob's students, like Eddie is.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the quarterback that was coaching at USC's camp was Zeb Noland. He was a GA, played at North Dakota State, but all the quarterbacks got hurt last year. So remember that was there was a big hubbub there for the GA. He still had 1 year of eligibility, and he played, let him do a couple wins, and he was
that's
there.
who was coaching him?
Yeah, and throwing to him. And so that camp also was. So Eddie's a quarterback and plays a little bit of defense, but every player did every station, like running, tackling, catching, passing, all that. Okay. So everybody did that. Okay. So it wasn't just a specific quarterback or line camp. They did all the stations.
I got you. So now your quarterback that your dad's talking about, do they have you doing every type of drill you can think of?
What do you mean?
Well, like knee drills, sitting drills, when you throw the ball.
Nope.
Okay.
He pretty much just threw it in the net.
All that money for throwing it in the net.
It wasn't expensive. It was like a
I hope not.
For the USC camp. Actually, they threw it. Wasn't it a trash can? And one station was a trash can, and then one of those nets where you had like 3 holes.
I tell you, back in 1990, we went up there and worked Spurrier's camp. I enjoyed watching what he taught. He was on the field. Steve Spurrier's first year at Florida. He's on the field. He's out there coaching the entire time. Matter of fact, we're over on the sidelines watching. He yells at Coach Hale, "Get out here and help." So we had to get out there because they had a lot of kids there. I think they had more than they thought was going to be there. So we got out there. I think Jim Durant was with us. We got out there and helped coach them with this camp. But he did a really good job with the quarterback drills and stuff that he did. But you got all kinds of step ladders they use now. I don't know what they do now, but what they used to. We had step ladders. You use all kinds of things, throwing through, bring your hips over. It's a lot to it. A lot of different drills throwing football. A lot of different drills.
Well, if you go to a college camp nowadays, it's going to be station drills. Like Ole Miss was similar to USC's. Now, if you want to go to position specific, you got to go to position specific camp.
Yeah.
So this is more about Eddie.
See, Alabama camp does it right. Like if you go there and you play quarterback with all the quarterbacks, you play offensive line, you're offensive lineman. You don't go do things you're not going to be doing in your career. It's like if you're a quarterback, you're not going to be out there doing tackles and stuff like that. You're going to be focused on your specific area to get you better, become a better player, better person, better individual, better student, a winner in life. Roll damn tide. All right, we're out. How much time we got? 30 seconds. How's Michigan going to do? Not you. How's Michigan going to do this year?
Probably 2 losses.
How many?
2 losses.
Was one to Ohio State?
Yeah.
What about Michigan State?
No.
No. Okay. I like Michigan, Daddy. God bless you. You're a great daddy. When do I get a full 2 hours? I mean, we have to read.
Show me the money, Coach.
We have to read. That's what I'm saying. New contract.
He needs an NIL deal.
Yeah.
NIL deal.
Heck, he used to be cheap, man. Now he sees everybody's making money. He's going, "No, you're going to pay me too." All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
He struck him out. Max Fried leaves the bases loaded.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by PCB Coins and Cards, Guthrie's Fit Culture, Panama City Toyota, Brock's Pest Control, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Good Monday morning. A chance of sharing